Hey y'all, it's time for another video. This is the one I've been wanting to get up for quite a while, and I've just been so busy. And it is going to be another kind of 4th of July themed bow. And this is one that I've had quite a few requests. And there are a lot of videos on loopy bows and funky loopy bows and whatever. So this is my version of it. This is how I do it, probably the same as anyone else. I have several embellishments here to add to it. I don't know if I'm going to use all of them. But anyway, the main part of the loopy bow is, you know, all the fillers. And then, you know, you can add feathers and stuff to the back. Basically, you want to just decide what you want to do, and I'll just kind of give you the options of some of the things that I use, what we're going to use today, some things you can use that I may not be using today, and that kind of stuff. I've already made the basic loopy bow already. Just to save a little time. If you need to know how to make this one, there is another video that I'll leave the link to. It was the snowball video that I did. Exact same bow. 4 rows, cut to the, you know, each ribbon is cut to 22 inches in length. Now I did 4 loops here. I think with the snowball bow, I only did 3. With a funky loopy bow, you want to do 3 to 5. I generally do 4. Anyway, and this is 5/8 ribbon from Walmart. You know, this is a 7/8 solid color. This is also 7/8. So anyway, I've already done it. And once I took all my loops apart, I stiffened my bow as well and let it dry. I like to do that before I put the fillers in, and you know, it just helps for it to hold its shape and not scrunch back together, kind of thing. Okay, so the other things you might need for a funky loopy bow, depending on the size. You know, if you want a medium to large size one, you want to use a pretty good size barrette, because it's a lot of stuff. You know, and the bow would be too heavy. This is an 80mm bow, 3 inches long. I'm sorry, 80mm barrette, and it's 3 inches long. You could go down one size to the 70mm if you want to, but I would not recommend using, you know, real small barrette. Okay. And then, of course, you need your glue gun, your scissors. I would, you know, get a lighter as well. We're going to do some heat sealing. I am also using a bow dabber. If you don't have a bow dabber, that's okay. You can, you know, just tie everything together or put it on needle and thread, you know, that kind of thing. It doesn't matter. Up to you. Okay. I've got a little bottle cap cameo thing that I'm using. Don't forget to put the felt on the back. I have this little glitter patriotic hat, and just to, you know, let you know, I stuffed it with cotton and then I covered it with this felt piece. Okay, got these from Hobby Lobby. I haven't decided if I'm going to use a piece of the tubular crin. Again, you can get this at Walmart. I have a video where I show how to, you know, put these little pieces together. I also have an ostrich puff, and this came off of, you know, like a long piece where you just, you know, you cut what you want and you glue it together. And just to demonstrate, like, this is a piece. This isn't the ostrich boa, but anyway, this is a piece, and all I do is get the 2 ends together and glue them. Okay, and then you end up with a little puff, and then you just put some, you know, some felt, glue some felt at the bottom. Okay, another thing that you can use is tulle. Okay, you can use tulle. I am not using tulle today. If you want to add tulle in with your fillers, I suggest cutting just a 4-inch piece. It would be like 6 by 4. This is 6 inches, you know, across here, and then just cut you like a 4-inch piece to add in. Or how many ever pieces you want to add in. Okay, also found these at Walmart. It's just like a little strand of stars, and it was $1 for, you know, each of these little spools. Okay, so I'm putting those in my fillers. Korkers. Okay, you can see I have, you know, korkers, and usually I use quite a few, 9 to 10 in each of my group of fillers. Trying to give my doggies a bone so they won't bark. So anyway, this korker, and I've done, you know, a video with korkers. This is 1/4 of an inch in width. I like the 1/4 of an inch. 3/8 is okay, but for fillers, I like it's 1/4 of an inch long. And I do not bake my own ribbon. I order it in strands like this from Hairbow Center. There is also, let's see, ribbonretreat.com. They also sell it. Okay, so you can check that out. And I have each piece cut, let's see, let me measure here. You know, about 3 inches for each piece. Okay, so you want to cut, you know, everything 3.5, something like that. You can measure, you know, by just opening up, you know, the loops right here, and just kind of, you know, placing, and just kind of take a look and see. It just depends on how tall your loops are. And these loops are about 2 inches high. And you know, like I said in the other video, I talk about that. 2 to 2.5 inches should be your height on your loops. Okay. Another thing I'm using is this ruffle gingham elastic. It comes on a spool from Hobby Lobby. And I'm also using this metallic pearl strand here, and it comes on a spool from Hobby Lobby as well. Okay, and they have different colors. You'll also need just a little piece of 3/8 ribbon to put on the back of the barrette whenever we're finished. Okay, and the last little thing I have here, I'm using these padded stars, and I'll leave the link to the Etsy shop where I got these. It's the same Etsy shop in the last video where I had gotten, I think, the smaller stars and a couple of other things. And it's like One Stop Supply or something like that, but I'll leave the link. And I'll show you what I did here. And you can do this with felties or anything that you're going to add. I got a Q-tip, and I snipped the ends, the cotton ends off of them, and then I glued it to the back of my embellishment or whatever you're going to use, and just put a little felt piece over it. And then instead of, you know, gluing this in, we're just going to glue the stick in. Okay, so that's what I did for this piece right here. Okay, the possibilities are endless, honestly. And I glued these together, but they come separate. These are really big. I love them. Okay, so once you have your bow made and it's dry and you have it all ready to go, you want to make sure you have your fillers. Now this is 4 rows. Okay, so you have 3 spaces to put fillers. So you need 3 groups of fillers to put in. Okay, I've already constructed 2 sets of fillers. Okay, and I'm going to, you know, just put together the third set for you, just to, you know, save time. It's very simple. You can just lay out a piece of thread, and you want to make sure you get thread or yarn or whatever that will not break. Okay, and you know I love the upholstery thread. It's kind of hard to see in the video, but you can lay it out, and then you can put, you know, your pieces in a group or whatever. Just kind of lay everything out like this, and then you can tie it and have your little bundle. Okay, or if you want to get your needle and thread, you know, if that's a possibility. Sometimes it's hard with some of the pieces to, you know, you can put it on needle and thread. Okay, that's another option. But I have this nifty little bow dabber here, and this was my very first sort of bow making tool to make bows. I made bows with this for a very long time, and basically you just feed your thread down in the middle there, and they sell these at Walmart and Michael's. Probably order them online. And I just kind of tuck my thread underneath. Okay, and then basically you just stuff in your fillers. It just makes it so much easier. Okay, and this they do sell what's called bow dabber wire to go with this, but I find with the funky loopy bows, the thinner, you know, the string or ribbon, the better. Okay, so I didn't use the bow dabber wire. And basically you just start, you know, centering your pieces, and you stuff it down inside this little you know, crease right here. And there's no set way to do it, you know, just however you want to put your pieces in, that's what you do. And it really just makes it so easy to make bundles for your fillers when you have another thing you can do use for a filler is just get, you know, ribbon, and you can do V cuts or slant cuts or whatever, and basically you would just stuff it, you know, down there as well. Okay, and I'm just continuing on here. Let's see, I don't know if I mentioned how many korkers I used for each filler. If I didn't, I'll just repeat it. I think I have 9, which is 3 of each color. 3 red, 3 white, and 3 blue. It all depends on how many you want. Okay, and so you see how it just kind of, it's real neat. You know, and this looks like you can make a, you know, this could be a little bow actually. Okay, and then you basically just, you know, tie it off. Alright, and I'm just going to tie another knot here. Alright, and it has a bar that you can push them down. I don't ever use it. In fact, I found it the other day stuffed in a drawer. Alright, and then I take it out and I just kind of squish everything together, and you know, there you go. That's what you have. Alright, and that just makes it real easy to put all your stuff together. Alright, so we have our 3 groups of fillers. Alright, I'm going to put that away. So now you want to get your bow, and you want to make sure that the tension bar is taken out. Okay, we'll put that back in later. And then you just basically start on your first set of loops here. You just pull them back. You take your fillers and stuff them in there with the string on both sides. And it's okay if they go to one side or whatever, they're not, you know, centered. We're going to fix that in just a minute. Basically, first of all, you just want to get them in the bow. Alright, then you turn around to the back. And my string is caught up a little bit. Let me undo it. Korkers catch on everything. Alright, so then I'm just going to tie it in back here. tie a good knot. Make sure it's in there secure. And then you just cut the excess string off. Alright, so basically, there you go. You've got your first set in, and then you want to go to your next set. And like I said, it's not real pretty yet because we have some trimming to do, and you know, we've got to squish everything in together and do some more gluing. You know, it's definitely not a simple process. You know, this is a very detailed bow. Okay, so then we go to the next set, and I've already got my group of fillers together. I love the little stars. Alright, and so I'm just going to tie this off in the back. And we're going to cover up all this string with with that piece of grosgrain. Alright, and that's the second set. Okay, and then you want to go to the third set. My string gets all tangled up in all of the fillers, so I've got to untangle it. Alright, and this is the last set. And I've got to get all this untangled. And I am actually going to just add a dab of glue there because my string doesn't want to seem to stay tied. Okay. Sorry if I'm kind of working off camera here. Okay. And that's it. You know, it's basically just getting your bundles together of what you want to put in, and the sky's the limit. I mean, you can put anything in the middle. Okay, and so you see how full it looks now. I mean, it's kind of a mess, but very full. You know, we've got some overhang here. But this is basically what it looks like at this point. Okay. Now what you want to do is go to the top of your bow and find the 4 loops at the top. Okay, and what we're going to do is put them together, and we're going to glue them. Okay, so I'm going to start on this side. Probably hear my retarded dog. Alright, so you take your glue gun and you just put a little bit of glue down there and glue them together. Okay, like that. Alright, and then you want to glue the next loop to that one. And then your 4th loop, same thing. Shh, it's okay, Brownie. Okay, so there you go. You've got your 4 loops up here, and it sort of forms a barrier to keep all of the stuff in the middle so that it's not falling. Okay, and you're going to do the same thing to the bottom 4 loops. Alright, so you want to move all your fillers out of the way. Sort of move them. And you're going to pull these 4 loops down. Alright, and you're going to glue them together as well. right, so I'm going to take my glue gun and glue them together, and like I said, it forms a barrier. And you don't have to have all the same size, you know. I have the 5/8 and then the 7/8 here. Okay, and so now we have our bottom loops glued as well. Okay, and so now we have all of our goodies just kind of hanging there in the middle. Okay, now at this point, what you can do is turn your bow over. And you could do it now or later, it doesn't matter, but I often forget, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. You just take your piece, heat seal both ends, and then you want to just glue that so it covers up all of those ugly strings, you know, that kind of stuff. You could actually cover the whole barrette before you even get started, you know, whatever your preference is. I just cover that little part right there. Okay, so there you go. You've got that part covered. All right. And then I just kind of, well, actually, you could probably put your tension bar back in as well. Having butterfinger problems today. Okay, so now at this point, the next step would be to trim all of your fillers. Okay, and I have this little stand here. It just kind of helps to hold the bow while I do that. Okay, so basically you want to make all of your corkers and fillers even with the loops. Okay, and so you're going to trim all that stuff down. One thing, of course, that I forgot to mention is if you want to stiffen the corkers ahead of time, that might be a good idea. You know, before you put them in here, that's what I do. I just, you know, get that big strand, that big corker strand, and I stiffen it, and then cut them up, and, you know, you don't have to worry so much about heat sealing and that kind of stuff. Okay, so I'm just going to start trimming. Bear with me here. Trim some of this, and like I said, basically I'm just kind of making it all even. If you want the pearls to stick out a little bit or whatever, you know, that's just your preference. I love this kind of bow. I like the over-the-top, boutique bows as well, but I think this one is probably my favorite. A lot of work goes into it, though. And, you know, the more of these that you do, the quicker you'll get. Now, don't get frustrated. It takes a lot of practice doing it over and over and over and over. Okay. Alright, so I'm pretty satisfied. I mean, I may go back later and do a little bit more trimming, but anyway, just for time's sake, I think I've got everything pretty even now. Okay. And basically at this point, I'm going to go through, what you want to do, and I'm not going to do a whole bunch of it, you want to go through and kind of heat seal. Just be careful if you have tulle or anything real flammable. I just kind of go through and heat seal anything that's raveled up. Okay, now we're finished with the basic bow. Now, just to add the top embellishments, or, you know, whatever, that's all we have left. Okay. Now, the idea is any embellishments that you have, you're basically going to pull back these loops right here and stuff them in. Okay, and that's why it's good to have felt at the bottom. Okay, so this is where all of our little fillers are going to go. Alright, I'm going to start with my boa. Okay, and I just kind of want to decide which side I'm going to use. I think I'll do this. Alright, sometimes I'll just kind of stick it all in without gluing it and see how it looks. Okay, alright, so that's the first one. It's okay, guys. Shh. Alright, so sorry about the dogs. My son's alarm is going off and he's not waking up and it's driving them nuts. Okay, so I'm going to glue that little piece in. Alright, and I kind of put it to the side because I have so many other embellishments that I'm going to be fitting in there. So this one's to the side. Okay, and all I did was I glued it in between the back loops and then all the fillers. Okay, so that's how that works. Okay, and then the next one I'm going to put in here would be, you know, my stars. Okay, I'm going to put my stars in. And before I actually glue them in, I just want to stick them in and see where I want to position them. Okay, sorry if I'm out of camera range. Let me do this. There we go. Okay, and so I just kind of take a look and see what I want. Okay, and if I'm satisfied with that, then basically what I do is I put glue all over the little stick on the back, and then once you get it in there, you can add more glue kind of down in there so it will stay sandwiched in. Okay, alright, kind of fluff up that, and it, you know, it ends up being kind of a tall bow. Alright, so there we go with the stars, and I did a bow like this already and put a picture of it on the Facebook page. It had light up, you know, blinking lights too. Alright, so there's that embellishment. Okay, and then I have two more. I don't know if I'm going to use them. Sometimes it, you know, can be too much. Let's see, there's my tubular crin. So I think I might place that in the middle. And then I've got my little hat. Okay, so you can see I've already put my felt on here. And if you look back at embellishing bottle caps, the video I have on that, that will, you know, show you how I actually put those together. Tubular crin's fun to work with too, and I need another glue stick here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put my glue on my piece of crin, and I'm going to pull back these fillers and just kind of stuff it in and hold it for a minute. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Look at all that fabulous glitter and shine. Okay, and you can put tulle puffs in here, you know, anything you want. Okay, and then I've got my little patriotic hat. Now you may want to stop at this point, but I'm going to put my little hat right here, and basically all I'm going to do is, you know, smother it with glue. I'm going to put a generous amount so it will stay. And I'm just going to very carefully place it to the side here. You could also put a Q-tip in the middle of that if you wanted to, and stick it in. You know, it's up to you. Okay, so now this is what we have, and that's what it looks like. And I've used all my embellishments except for this one. I still have this one left. And you just, you know, kind of decide where you want to put it. All right, and I think I'm just going to put it right there in the center. And this is a very funky loopy bow. Okay, so I've put my glue on the back, and I'm just gonna put that on there. The only thing about all of this is it kind of hides all your pretty work. But anyway, some people don't like all the embellishments, and some people, you know, the more the better. Okay, so there it is, folks. It's a lot of fun to experiment with, actually. Okay, and I also have, you know, from the Glitter Bug Fairy, I have these, it's a, well, it's what it is, it's called a flash braid. Okay, it's like fiber optic lights. Okay, and I don't know if I'm going to add it in, but let me take it out of the bag here. It's like a little barrette. You could just clip it in your hair. Okay. Alright, let's see. This is what it is. And see the little switch at the bottom? You just switch it on and it flashes, and then you've got the little fiber optic lights. And you can cut them down. Okay? And, you know, add them in the bow. Alright, let me give my doggies a bone. They're not being very good today. You don't want that? No, get down. Okay, and I was thinking about, you know, just cutting these down, and then maybe putting them back here somewhere. Now, you know, the lights flash, and this would be kind of neat for, and this is what I did with the other one. Okay. Anyway, it's just an option. You know, what you do is you cut down, well, I'll just do it real quick. You just kind of cut them down and make a short one. Okay. And, you know, you can spread them out if you want or whatever. And you can just put them back here. It just kind of adds that final glittery touch to the bow or whatever. You might want to cut them a little bit shorter. Anyway, it's an option. When the kids are out shooting firecrackers at night, you know, they will also have a flashing head. Alright, and so I just kind of fan these out. You can put them back here. It's hard to see with the light on, but it really lights up well at night. Okay, ladies, so that's the funky loopy bow. I've had several requests for other things, but of course school is quickly approaching. At least here the kids go first week in August. So anyway, I really appreciate all of my subscribers and all of the response that I get on the Facebook page. I hope I can, you know, keep up with doing a video every week or two for the rest of the summer. Whenever school starts, it might be kind of hard to do that. But anyway, this is definitely a big, huge, funky loopy bow. Over the top, whatever you want to call it. So if you guys make something like this, please send me a picture. I've gotten a few pictures. The headband tutorial, I've gotten a lot of response and a lot of pictures from that. You guys seem to really like that one. So I'm not sure what the next one will be, but y'all enjoy your day, and I'll get back with you in the next video. Thanks so much.